Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm Emerald Fox, VP of Operations here at Zang Enterprises. We're going to go through some of your questions. Make sure to drop them in the chat. We're going to start off with some questions that we didn't get to from the chat last week. So without further ado, let's dive on in. Okay, so our first question today is from DL Blue 65. And they say, what is the likelihood the strategy is initiated before gold hits fundamental value? The gold investment won't be covering everything we've planned for. Any idea? So from what I'm understanding this question to mean is if you're going to start utilizing the sections of your strategy that you prepped for and that you've already started filling out. As Lynette says, often the fundamental value usually doesn't hit gold doesn't hit its fundamental value until usually around like 3 times in a reset, and we just can't predict that. However, the more that you have planned and the more that you have started to set up, the better off you're going to be. So that's something that we can't make that prediction, and I wouldn't want to make any assumptions. But the earlier you start, the better off you're going to be. Next question is Tommy Two Gloves. Lynette, can you briefly explain the tremendous liability of the impending real estate and property tax shortfalls that will soon leave us all facing a complete collapse of the United States monetary system? That's a really big question, and it's just loaded. But I would say that, and Lynette can definitely speak to this a lot more than I can, especially me not being an expert in real estate and not having, I'm not an accountant or a licensed tax advisor, anything like that. So I wouldn't be able to speak on that too much. However, I will say, and I think Lynette would too, that the impending real estate and property tax shortfalls that we're seeing are a key sign to a larger issue in our debt-based monetary system. So I think that's just an additional sign to everything that's going wrong. And any steps that we take to correct those issues are just going to be band-aids on that larger scale issue. So we're heading somewhere, and there's really not much we can do to face those issues. At this point, the patterns are where they're at, and I just think that these are just additional signs to the larger problem. I would also say that this is also a sign to make sure that you get, real assets, sound money, to better protect yourself. There are great options for covering real estate as well as your property taxes in the strategy that Lynette built. So if you're wondering about what you can do to protect yourself against those shortfalls, then I would definitely reach out to a strategy specialist here at Zang Enterprise, because Lynette built that strategy to make sure those things are covered. So absolutely give us a call. Zang Enterprises strategy specialists are trained by Lynette, who built that strategy for herself. So absolutely give us a call on that one. Another question from DL Blue 65. Something I think about when what hits the fan and the dollar is worthless, how/why will we convert the collectibles back into dollars? I get my mind wrapped into a pretzel. Help me understand. That's a great question. And let's go ahead and start with the how. You can, of course, go to, us, Zang Enterprises, to help you get the conversion back into whatever monetary system we shift into. And that, if it's into dollars or into a tokenized item, whatever we're heading towards, who knows? But at the time of the conversion, that's something that, we keep up on when it's time to do that. But you would go and get a bid. You would get a bid from a, reputable dealer, Zang Enterprises being one, or whoever you purchased it from, you'll likely get your, the highest value for, or go to a local coin store, or pawn shop, etc., somewhere near you if necessary, and get a bid. And you want to go with obviously the highest bid that you can get. And then you would convert into whatever that monetary system is, that currency that we're shifting into. And as far as the why you would do that is because that's how, our government and our systems run, right? We have to operate just like our business here at Zang Enterprises. We have to operate based on what is the legal tender in that nation, wherever you are. So whatever you are utilizing needs to be legal tender, right? So we may protect ourselves in our business with those collectibles. However, we have to have some form of capability to, buy and spend and borrow, et cetera, with with those around us, with our communities. So absolutely, that's the why. But for now, I would definitely make sure that you've got those collectibles for you. And if you need someone to hold your hand on how to do that and when to do that, that's again what Zang Enterprises is here to help you do. So give us a call. Our next question is from Lizard King. Lynette, what should I do with silver and gold in my IRA, and when should I move it? Great question. So you have a precious metals IRA, and that is such an awesome, you're already off to a great start. But my question to you is that, the best option for you? That's where I would make sure that you reach out to a strategy specialist, because they're going to go through your goals and, why maybe you chose a precious metals IRA as opposed to getting precious metals stored safely and securely in your home or a private vault. That's the IRA, you can only hold bullion. Those are the only items that are IRA eligible. And so, should there be a confiscation or, anything like that, you're leaving yourself open to exposure of, possible, not having that. The government is aware of what you have in an IRA. And like Lynette would say, it's designed that way. Right? So if there should ever be some type of confiscation, you're subject to that because they are already aware of what's in there. So I would recommend, if not all of it, maybe let's start with a portion. Let's liquidate it. Let's get it into some collectible gold, some raw, some common dates, some semi-numismatics. Let's look at your strategy and see what your goals are and what you need to protect, and see if it's time to shift out that whole portfolio or maybe keep a fraction of it. It just depends on what's best for you and what you're looking for and what your goals are to protect. Our next question is from Colleen Allen, and she says, need more help. Went to PCGS as you directed. How do I figure out the current value of a $5 gold Indian coin so I know the coin dealer is offering a fair price when I sell the coin? Thanks. All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and pull this up for you so that you can watch me as I do it. Let me just grab the laptop here, and Josh will put this up for you. All right, so PCGS.com/prices is actually where you can take a look. You can navigate this site. There's tons of resources, but just for time's sake here, I'm going to go ahead and I believe you said a $5 gold Indian. So right over here, you've got type coins, gold coins, etc. You've got all this stuff, but let's go to a $5 Indian, and that's right here. I'm hovering over it. Let's go ahead and click it. That's 1908 to 1929 when those are minted. And this is where we're going to get, those prices. And to walk you through it, we've got the PCGS number. I wouldn't pay too much attention into that, but then you've got the description. So that's going to be the date of the coin and where it was minted. Like you've got the 1908 and the 1908D, 1908S. That's going to be the name and where it was minted. For example, the D stands for Denver, the S is San Francisco, etc. So that's going to be what the description is. Your next your designation is going to be your mint state. So that's the quality of the coin. Like how many scuffs does it have? What are we looking at for quality? You've got the 30 through the 67s. Say you have a 1908 mint state 64 coin, you're going to go over to the 64 column, and those are going to be your recent whether it's the prices, the retail price. So basically, you want to keep in mind that these prices are intended as a guide and a starting point for determining a coin's worth. And you can scroll down. We can see a bunch more. There's tons of other options, but there's places to shop with their affiliates. But I would definitely recommend reaching out to Zang Enterprises to seeing how these can compare, but you definitely want to remember that these are starting points because they are relative recent pricing, but that market pricing might have gone up a little bit if it's been a couple days. You have to keep in mind that every dealer has their own premium as well. So while this may say this here, we have to remember that it's a starting point. So just keep that in mind, but it should be somewhere near. Okay. Thank you for that question, Colleen. And if you need more explanation on that, please let us know in the chat or reach out to one of our strategy specialists and they can walk you through it too. We do Zoom calls, which is just really great. So we can do screen sharing and you can share your screen so we can make sure you're getting to the right spot, or we can share our screen to walk you through a little bit more in detail. So if that helps, then I definitely would recommend it. You can scan that QR code on the screen or click the link in the description below. We're going to go ahead and stop here. I hope you found this useful. If you like this content, stay tuned. Make sure to go ahead and like this video, subscribe, share it with, friends and family. We'd love to be able to answer more of your questions. But until next time, you guys, stay safe and stay smart.